guys, we are in the basement, and today guys, on this episode of John's Arcade, well guys, I am back from Chicago, and it's back to the garage because this is part number 11 of the Mortal Kombat Restore. Can we please finish this thing already? I feel like I've been working on this thing for like 2 years. So anyway, we gotta go to the garage, okay? And we really need to get this done because, my God, it's getting cold. The snow is coming. So in this video here, we're gonna go to the garage and we're gonna try to finish up this game, okay? What's left? Well, we gotta put T-molding on. We need to address the control panel, the Bondo and the paint and the decals and all that. We need to restore the coin doors and all the metal. So we have all this stuff to do. Can we do it all this weekend? I'm not sure, but we're gonna try. Anyway, enough of that. Let's go to the garage. Let's get to work on the Mortal Kombat 2. All right, guys, we're in the garage. And yeah, it's cold out there. It's like in the 30s today, and it was like in the 40s in the garage, and I've had my heater here running for about a half hour, so it's like in the 60s now in the garage. It feels pretty good. This little propane heater is awesome. It's loud though, so let's turn this off. It's totally warm in here. But anyway, we're gonna get to work on the Mortal Kombat. I've been looking at the cabinet and admiring it. I have to say, it does look pretty good. Let's kind of review too. Like the last video, we put the full side art on. And it looks really, really good. Now, if we get in here and really scrutinize it, you know, you can see the texture of the particle board, without a doubt. So I think if I were to do this again, I probably would use laminate like I did on the Quantum and the Jump Bug. But it still looks really good considering we went directly on the particle board. And I really sanded that stuff. But still, if you just get in here at the right light, you can totally see that particle board texture. But anyway, it still looks great, and I'm happy with it. It's going to look really good in the basement. I mean, come on, look at that. That's a good-looking cabinet. So I threw the control panel on here just to see, because I want to put the T-molding on real quick. I wanted to see what this was all about. You see right here? Now, if you look in here, there's like a little notch, and I'm wondering... Yeah, so the T-molding is going to want to end right here, because when the control panel shuts, but you can see the T-molding groove, they had it kind of go down to here, but that's where this sits. I believe. Yeah, I think when we put it all back together, it's going to be like that. So the T-molding has to end right here. All right, so let's get this off. And we're going to have to address the control panel box in this video too, because right now it's not looking too hot. You can see on the sides, the Midway logo, this is all scratched up here. And then on the front, it used to say Mortal Kombat 2, and that's been painted over. Someone actually sent me a viewer mail saying, John, don't just strip this off. You should, I mean, don't strip the decal off. You should try to remove the paint because the MK2 logo might be here still and it might look really good. And he said like the repro stuff doesn't look as good as the original one. So we might try to do that with some Citra strip and see if we can get the black paint off and save the MK2 logo that's right here. That would be pretty great if we could do that. But this is a little chewed up here and dinged. Anyway, why don't we just move on? Let's do the, I want to do the T-molding first. And let's kind of take a look at the original T-molding and the stuff I ordered. Now, I ordered a new red 3/4 inch T-molding right here on eBay from tmolding.com, okay? And this is the bright red color. There's actually two reds. There's red and bright red. So I got bright red because everybody was telling me that that's the one to get. And we can kind of compare it to the original. So this is the original right here. Now the new stuff has more of a crown to it, whereas the old stuff, the profile is a little more flat. If you guys can see that. And if we compare it to the new, and the old stuff had a much meatier barb. Look at that. Yeah, this old T-molding they were using back then is totally better than the stuff we're getting now. You know, the barb is a lot fatter, less of a crown. I think the red color on the new stuff's a little more vibrant, but they're both very close, similar to each other. It's kind of an orangey red. What do you guys think? So let's put the game on its back. And all right. Marquee wasn't really secured. Okay. All right, so I got 20 feet of this. I'm kind of worried that we're gonna run out of it. But let's do this little strip right here first. The artwork kind of folded over down here. All right, so let's do this first. This is gonna really make this cabinet pop, you know that, right? So I have a rubber mallet. It's gonna be kind of tight to get in here on here. But this right here is just a straight on run. Now the molding is a little bit bunched up right here, you see that? So I'm wondering if I wanna just trim that off. I just can't waste too much of this stuff because I don't think that we have a lot of extra. So I'm just gonna use some side cutters here. And I'm just gonna trim off the ugliness. That wasn't very good. Wow, I can't cut this for doing a bad job here. There we go. Okay. All right, so let's start at this end down here. So I need to find a good way to pound in there. It's actually leaving some marks on there. Let's try a socket. Alright, that worked out pretty well there. And I'm just taking my finger here and going along the edge and just pushing in the arc a little bit. I did it on my Quantum and it actually worked pretty well. Okay, so that looks pretty great. Just a straight line. So let's go ahead and try to cut this as flush as we can. Okay, that's good. Okay, so let's go do the other side just like that one. Where should we start here? Let's start on the bottom. Okay, so I'm not really sure if I should go into here. I don't think I should, but I think I'm going to leave enough extra. Actually, yeah, I am. We might end up trimming this part out. We'll see. I don't know if this is going to conflict with the control panel. Boy, look at this. It totally folded over the artwork right here because the control panel goes over the artwork and it kind of pushed it back right there, which isn't the end of the world because the piece of wood basically goes over this on the control panel, and so you won't be able to see any of that. All right, let's go ahead and do all this. Okay, so we have this little area right here. So I'm going to take my side cutters and just kind of cut the barb right where it curves to kind of relieve some of that stress. Like so. And then we might need to do it up here too. On this turn, just cutting a little bit of it away to help make that sharp turn. All right, let's get our mallet. Okay, now the rest of it here goes all the way around the top. So I have to almost lift up the cabinet to do that. I think I'm going to do that real quick. Okay. So the rest of it just goes around the top up there. Okay. So you can see right here is where I cut the artwork short because we had white. A lot of people said I should use a Sharpie to cover that up, but I've had bad luck with Sharpies just don't tend to do it. I guess there's more industrial ones. All right, let's trim the back off and we'll kind of take a look at our work. Okay. All right. So that's one side there. And I think it looks pretty good. Yeah, it looks really good. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do the other side the same exact way, and then we'll come back. What do you guys think? Actually, hang on a second. I realized something. We forgot to do that. There's a piece of T-molding that goes right here. We did not do that. So let's do that real quick. And then really complete this side. I feel like I'm gonna run out of T-molding here. Because we still do the control panel too. All right, let's lower this guy down. All right, so we have to do this right here. Just a straight shot. So let's get the rest of the T-molding. So when I put the vinyl on the front, I cut it to the T-molding line. So we're actually going over the vinyl on the inside here. That looks great. I would say that this front vinyl here was a massive success. That looks pretty sharp. This thing's like the Batmobile. It's black and red. I dig it. Okay. We clearly don't have enough T-molding, do we? Maybe we do. Supposedly 20 feet is enough to do this game. We'll see. I'm just trimming it back with my side cutters. We might have to come in and trim it a little further. These things are kind of big, and I feel like I'm making rather sloppy cuts with hangover. But we'll see how the control panel hides all this. All right, that looks pretty good. It really kind of trims it. Doesn't it just like complete the look? Just really finishes it off. Should throw the coin doors on here. It's tempered glass. So this is a coin door. Ah, boy, this thing needs to be painted. So this came from my friend Daniel. I think someone rattle canned this. Might be good enough. I'm not sure, but this came from Mortal Kombat. No, maybe not. It says Atari Games Core. Oh, that's right. Daniel told me about this. This was in a Radical. This was an Atari Radical that they had leftover Mortal Kombat cabinets. and they sold them to Atari or something. I don't know. There's some kind of story like that. We want to pop that in there right now. I think it might clean up just fine. I can't tell if someone painted this or if this is the original finish on here. I'm tempted just to drop it in. And after we clean it, we'll see how it looks. It's just really dirty. It's got the dollar bill acceptor right there. And then the lower coin door right here. Yeah, we got like 2 different finishes. We're gonna have to paint that. We need to paint them both so they match. Be kind of cool to take them to a powder coater, wouldn't it? They're actually in pretty good shape. But this one here, we'd have to take it all apart, spray paint everything, prime it, paint it. So we'll have to hold off on that. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna keep going here. I'm gonna do the other side exactly the same way that we did the right side. And then I'll come back. But we're just rinsing and repeating here. All right, I'll be right back. All right, we got the T-molding on. So bad news though, I did not order enough T-molding because after doing the cabinet, left and right sides, we have this much left over, which is not enough to do the control panel. So I'm gonna have to order 20 more feet of this. Ugh. I knew when I was ordering it too. I'm like, there's just no way 20 feet is enough, and I was right. So I want to kind of just clean up the cabinet a little bit because like the black, you know, has some marks and like water marks and stuff from when we did the. So I'm just gonna go ahead and spray this with some simple green. Just kind of do a quick little cleanup here. And then we gotta, oh man, I'm mad I didn't get enough T-molding. What stinks too is that we actually have a bunch of stuff to paint black because I'm looking up there at that bracket for the Marquee and that needs to be painted. And I hate spray painting when it's this cold. Alright, that looks way better. Oh boy, this is really coming together, isn't it? You know, seeing the Marquee up there with the metal trim above it, and which is all rusty. Look at all that. So we really gotta do a lot of painting still. I have to spray paint the coin doors and all the metal trim pieces. And then this right here. Wait, this isn't the top channel, is it? Is it that? Is that the top piece? That looks better than the metal. I think that is. I think that's right. I think that's what goes on top. I need to clean both sides of this. So this is nothing more than a translite on a piece of glass. Just gonna Windex this inside. So let's clean the one side here. Okay, so we'll take our Translite. So the Translite has like these little plastic channels, and the top channel was kind of hosed. Actually, the bottom one was hosed. So I took the bottom one off, and we're just gonna put one on the bottom. So this channel here used to be on the top. So I think we can get away with just one channel because I don't have, see, it kind of splits like that. You really only need it on the bottom to just kind of keep stuff together as you stick it in the slot. I'm just going to put this stuff together up here. I don't have a bulb in there. Let me see if I have that bulb in hand. So I buy these bulbs in bulk on, I forgot the name of the website. These are, I think I might be out of bulbs. Those are Nintendo bulbs. Yeah, I am. I'm out of bulbs. I used them all at the hangar. Need to order more. But don't go to the hardware store to buy these bulbs. You'll get reamed. They're like $15 a piece at Ace Hardware. You can get like 5 of them for that much on the internet. So for the time being, we'll just screw this down. Just because I want to see it. So we're going to use this for the top channel, which I think is correct. It's funny, whenever I take these games apart and I put them back, I never take photos. I never keep track of the screws. Like, oh, this screw went here, this screw went there. It always seems to just work out. All right, so let's screw that down. I'm going to use those security screws. And there's a guy on eBay selling these Atari/Midway security screws, and I bought a bag of them, and I'm slowly depleting all of them. I probably should order more because this is the kind of thing that you're going to want to have on hand the rest of your life. They're just super useful. And you need to use the security bit with it. So, you get a bit holder. So I'm going to go ahead and just screw that down. And then we'll put the grill back on. It's like I just want to see it assembled. I'm getting excited. All right, I need a chair to stand on. My stool. Oh, not that. Where's the haunted chair? Where is it? Oh, it's back here. This chair has become a bit of a joke. It's the haunted chair. Are you guys scared? Something bad happened on that chair. All right, so let's go up here and screw this down. Oh my God, where did I put the screws? Here. And we're gonna have to undo this later when we get some bulbs. Looks good. Actually, I'm wondering if I want to do this right now, because the speaker grill, we need to put that in there. I think that goes over. So let's take a look at the speaker grill. Which is in pretty good shape. So this is the speaker grill, and that kind of hooks over here. So I think I want to put this in first. I did step on it, so it's all kind of bent up over here, but you can't really tell. All right, let's screw that down. Okay. I'm just using the existing holes here. Those screws are so nice. Okay, so I can kind of see where it's bent a little bit, because like I said, I stepped on this thing, and there we go. No problem. All right, it's a little dirty too. I'm just gonna try to carefully clean it. Hopefully this just dries away. Boy, look at all that nicotine. I could have cleaned this in the sink or something, but whatever. I'm sure it'll dry just fine. All right. That looks great. What do you guys think, huh? It's really coming together now. I'm just gonna throw a couple in. I'm gonna have to redo it to change the bulb anyway. Okay, so that's that. So now we gotta look at the control panel box. It really is a good looking game, you know? I love that red and black. It's just kind of badass. Looks tight. All right, let's move on to the control panel. All right, let's move on to the control panel. Actually, a few weeks has passed here since we did the T-molding. I've been to Chicago and back, and yeah, we gotta get this thing done. Luckily, the weather is actually surprisingly great, you know, for December here. The garage door is open and it feels just fine. Anyway, all right, here it is, the control panel. So we're ready to strip this thing and Bondo it and all that good stuff. We gotta get the rest of the hardware off though. We have these little clasps right here on the side. So we're just gonna take our little socket set here and remove these. I think that we're gonna start tumbling these parts too, because I removed a lot of nuts and bolts and screws. I think overall though, they're in good shape. But I do think that we might want to look at tumbling some of these. I'm not sure. We'll see how this stuff looks when we get it all off. So let's remove this thing. And I went to Home Depot today and I grabbed some stripper. And we're going to use that to remove the old faded decals. All right, so there's that one. Okay. And then let's get the other one off right here. So my plan is to hopefully finish this cabinet in this video. I think we can. It all depends on the paint and the drying times. And we also have to do the metal parts, which I kind of forgot about. And that's actually a bit of a job, especially the coin door. And the weather right now is a little, it's not like super cold, but it's a little too cold for painting if you ask me. So we might have to paint this stuff outside and maybe I'll have it dry inside. I'm not really sure. So we got all those parts off. Let's take a look at our parts bucket. Because I've been basically removing all the screws and everything and placing them in here. And I'm curious if I should start tumbling all this stuff. There's a lot of black parts. I think we should, because this stuff's pretty rusted. see here. I don't think it would hurt to tumble this stuff. And even these things. These are the monitor brackets. I'm missing one. There should be 4. Oh, here it is. Okay. Let's grab the tumbler. And we'll get that stuff going while we're working here. And hopefully it'll be all done tomorrow when we're ready to start putting things back together. I'm not positive, but I think that a mouse chewed this. My media. I'll show you guys. So the media that I use is this Desert Blend ground English walnut shells. And there's a little tiny hole right here. It was sitting on the shelf. I think that a mouse chewed that. All right, let's take a look here. So here's my tumbler. I bought this thing on Amazon. It's the Franklin Arsenal quick and easy case tumbler. And this is designed for guys that reload bullets. And they would basically put their brass casings in here. My dad used to do this when I was a kid a lot. Reload ammo. And so you tumble the shells in here. So let's load this thing up with this walnut. So you could squeeze a little bit of Novus or wax in here too to kind of help polish things up. I think I have some Novus in the basement, I'm not sure. I think we're gonna go without it because I don't really have any handy right now. Let's take a look over here. I got this stuff. I'll throw some of this in there. So this is mill wax. And we'll just kind of squirt some of this in here. This stuff's pretty old. All right, and then we'll just dump all our metal parts in here. And we'll let this thing kind of go overnight. Sometimes I let this thing go for a few days and the parts really come out brand new. All right, let's plug this guy in. This is going to be kind of noisy. We might turn it off. We'll see if we can tolerate it. And we'll just let that go for a day. And we'll check on stuff tomorrow. All right, so let's look at the control panel. We gotta start stripping this thing. I was thinking about if I should try stripping the metal at the same time. Because we're gonna use, I've actually never really used like a liquid stripper on metal before. I'm curious to see how that would work. So we got this coin door here. Boy, that's in pretty good shape. That's not bad, it's just missing all the parts. And then I have this coin door over here. So this coin door my friend Daniel gave me, I think this is the one we have to use, but someone like painted this thing kind of haphazardly. but this one has all of the wiring which we need. This, I believe, was from a Bally Radical or an Atari Radical. I guess Atari, like Midway had a bunch of extra Mortal Kombat cabinets and they sold them to Atari, and Atari used them for Radical Biker, I think it was called. It was like a game where you're riding a bicycle delivering pizzas. And then this is the lower coin door. So you can see it has this kind of like hammered finish. So I went to Home Depot, I picked up some hammered paint and also some satin paint, because the hammered paint, I don't know if I've ever used this one before. It's a little more gray-y, but this is the Rust-Oleum hammered paint, and you can see it does actually looks pretty black though. We might just try using this, and if it's too like gray, we can top it off with this the satin black. But I guess what we'll do first here though is let's spray this thing down and get the Midway decal off, and then while the stripper's doing its thing, I think I'll start stripping the coin door, and we'll start getting that stuff ready. All right, so this stuff here is Clean Strip Premium Stripper. I got this at Home Depot. I've been using this a lot lately. It's really strong and it works really well, and it's really toxic, and you don't want to touch this with your hands, but it really works through these decals. So we'll let that sit for a couple minutes, and then we'll come in with a scraper. Okay. And then let's start stripping our coin door so we're prepared for paint. All right, so let's go over here. So we gotta get all these parts off of here. And so we got a really long ground wire. I'm not looking forward to this. This is so tedious. So we got some tiny screws here. Trying to see if there's an easy way to get this thing off. I don't think there is. Looks like we have to mess with these little screws in here. Let's see if I have a small screwdriver. Boy, you know, I really thought we could finish this weekend, and I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of stuff to do still. There really is a lot to do still. All right, so let's keep all the coin door parts in that little bowl. Oh, this is just endless. So we have 4 screws here holding both of these, both of the slots on 2 sides, with the coin mac and the reject button and the light and all that stuff. The slot and the return. You know, I'm not going to probably paint this side. I guess we could have left all this stuff on, but I guess we risk kind of overspray. And I do want to kind of sand the other side a little bit. It would be kind of hard to do that with all these parts on here. So let's remove the service switch here. So this is all ready to just kind of come off here. But we have this slam switch right here that has a standard screw on it. Get one of those. So weird, I can never find a standard screwdriver. I guess there's one right here. There's a ground wire right there. I'm not going to tumble these. They're all in pretty good shape, and I'd rather keep them separate so I can put everything together later. Okay, so these, so these are plastic, but someone painted them. These are all plastic, and someone painted all these. Someone just like spray painted the whole front of this coin door willy-nilly. Oh yeah, they even got paint on these too. Look. That sucks. Let's see if we can get that paint off and just kind of bring it back to the original plastic. I wonder if we could use some Goo Gone or something. You see, I have some actually right here. So these things we should be able to open and then get to the little artwork insert in here. Boy, that's really on there. Doesn't want to open at all. Let's try this one. There we go. So here's a little paper insert that was in there. It just says coins. It's rather generic. So I wonder if we soak this thing. I don't think that the Goo Gone is strong enough to eat that plastic. Goof Off is though. Let's see if we can get this other one off. Maybe we'll soak this in. All right. So the bottom part is okay. There's no spray paint on it. But this part is not. These are all spray painted. So I wonder if I take a cup here. And just kind of cover this. try this. Just let this soak in this. Just kind of submerged it. We'll let that soak and see if we can get that paint off. And then these guys, I don't know what to do here. I guess we could just paint these too. These are all plastic. They should not be painted. I think we might paint these though. If I can get an even coat on these, it might look okay. Okay, so let's take a look here. So we gotta get these screws off on the hinge. I feel like I've done this so many times. I need a bigger screwdriver. I think I'm stripping it. I wonder if we can use that other coin door. See, this one has the original finish on here and it's in good shape. It's just that we're missing the plate that goes here. We're missing this plate, but we have the plate right here. Let's see. This is the same coin door, right? Yeah, it is. It's just that this plate's missing, but the finish on it's wrong. I kind of want to use this one. It's in better shape. It's less hacky. And that's the one that was on the game. And then this is the lower one. These both have the same exact finish. So I think if I paint them both the same way, they'll look the same. Whereas this one has had the original kind of hammered finish kind of removed. The only thing is that we're missing the plate, which is this piece right here. So I could just transfer it from this one to that one. Let's do that. And then we can use the guts. All right, so this, trying to see how this goes here. So how do I get these off? This is where like the bill acceptor went. Piece of cake. All right, yeah, we'll do that. So we don't have to worry about the mismatch of the finish on this one. Yeah, that's good. I think I'm just gonna hit this thing. I don't know if I want to even use the hammered finish on here. Spacer, spacer.
All right, let's get the hinge off. Ow, 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 ow. I'm starting to wonder now, maybe I want to remove both the plates and we could paint those as separate pieces. What do you guys think? Alright, so the hinge is free. Boy, that hinge is in pretty good shape. I think we'll hit this with a light coat of paint. And that way we'll, because we're using a light coat of paint, I think we'll maintain most of the original kind of hammered powder coat finish. And then on the top here, you can clearly see that this is wrong because they painted over it on the other coin door. Boy, that really stands out. So I think what we'll do, yeah, I think we'll just leave those parts on there. I don't see that being a problem. Let's clean it up though. It looks kind of filthy, and then we'll kind of paint that real quick. Where's my simple green? Boy, this garage is a mess. I need to clean my life. But, you know, I got the last like 2 weeks of the year off. I'm going to clean the garage. I'm going to clean the basement. We're going to get these games down there. Life is going to be awesome. But where's my simple green, mean green? Where is it? I think it's inside. I think we'll just use Windex. Oh, here it is. Let's just kind of just wipe all this down. It's pretty dusty. This bottle's defective. Look at all that like nicotine coming off. Boy, that thing's in pretty good shape, honestly. It's really not bad at all. We might hit it with a hammered, just kind of even it out. I do have to separate the hinge on this one. Let me see if we can use my cordless drill. bit's too big. So tedious, guys. I feel like I've done this exact thing like 50, 60, 70 times in my life, and I probably have. Maybe not that many, but there's a date on this coin door. November 5th, 1993. Okay. All right. I'm going to clean these up real quick with Simple Green and I'll come back. All right. I just sprayed them, wiped them down with the Simple Green. We'll let that dry. All right. Let's go back to the control panel over here. So you probably want to wear gloves. This stuff will eat up your hands. And these are latex-free gloves, by the way. If you have latex gloves, this chemical will eat right through it. These are nitrile. Okay, let's kind of see what happens here, by the way. Maybe, is it coming off? I don't know, let's get my gloves on before we really dig in here. And it's a good idea to put on some safety glasses too, because if you get this stuff in your eye, you're gonna be blind. I don't want to be blind. All right. And that's been sitting on there for what, a half hour or so? Here's my glasses. All right. Let's get in here and see what happens. Good. And there's nice wood underneath here too. So I think the decals are going to go on real nice. Look at that, huh? It's pretty good, right? It does make a mess. I'm going to get my garbage can. So this stuff will eat through the gloves a little bit. So you gotta work fast. But this is awesome. It's taking it off in like one piece. Some stubborn stuff on the edges there, probably because there wasn't really good coverage. So I think we need a little bit more on the edges here, because we didn't have good coverage. You can see though, it does start eating through these gloves. Not all the way, it kind of bubbles them up. I'm gonna spray a little bit more of that on there. And we'll let it sit for like 10 minutes. All right, I'll let that sit, and then we'll come back here. All right, I'm gonna let it sit for 10 minutes and we'll come back. Okay, I'm back. It's only been like a minute, but while it's doing its thing, I thought we should address this. This is really the only other metal part that we have to worry about in this game, besides the coin door, and this is the glass retainer that goes on the bottom of the glass between the control panel and the glass. And you can see this is pretty rusted. So I think we should strip this down a little bit, and then we're gonna spray paint it when we do the coin door. So why don't we just kind of sand that really fast? So let's go ahead and do that real quick here. let's take a look here. My sandpaper is falling apart. I think I'm gonna prime this thing and then we'll paint it. So we got a little bit of rust on here still. I guess I'll change the sandpaper real quick and we'll finish that off. Let me get some sandpaper. Hang on. All right, I just got a sheet of 120 here, and my sander's a quarter sheet sander, right? So we're just gonna basically create ourselves a quarter sheet. Oh, that's not a very good tear, but it'll work. Why don't we use scissors here? It's a lot cheaper to just do this yourself. This little sander is great. I've had this thing forever. I use it for almost everything, really, and then the orbital sometimes. My sheet is, I tore it a little bit too big. All right, let's see what we can do here. Damn. I think I'm too aggressive. All right, let me change the paper again. I'm using 120. Hang on. All right, I changed it. Let's get the rest of this rust off. All right, I think that's good enough. So what I want to do is I'm going to prime this thing, and then we'll let it dry for about a half hour, and then we'll spray paint the coin door and this all at once. I'm trying to find some paper towels here. I want to just wipe this thing down. So let's just kind of get all the dust off of here. I'm not going to paint the other underside, mostly because of this seal on here, and it's in fine shape. All right, so why don't I set up real quick? Let's get some cardboard and get the garbage can out of here, and let's paint this real quick. All right, so we're gonna put this on here, and I'm gonna do something a little different this time. I normally just hit this with the Rust-Oleum paint and primer in one. And as we do more of these videos and as I get more experience, I don't know if that's really the best way to do it. I'm gonna put some primer on first. And this is just an extra step. It just adds a half hour, and I think it's a good idea. I think it's gonna smooth it out a little bit more too and give us a better finish. So I bought this here. I've never used this before, first time. Zenzer Bullseye 123 Plus primer for all projects, 20% greater coverage, greater hide, top coat in 30 minutes, so ideal under deep color, blah, blah, blah. It's for everything. I read the label carefully at Home Depot, And according to what I read, you can use this stuff on everything. So let's give it a shot. And we'll just put like one coat on here. And then let it dry for a half hour. And then we'll do our black. Now, I don't know, I think it's about 50 degrees out here. It's probably too cold really to be doing it. Oh my God, it's 40. Wow, it's like 42 degrees. I don't even feel cold. It's definitely too cold to do this, so I'm gonna paint it and then bring this in the house. All right, I think that's it. I'm gonna bring that inside the house and we'll let it dry in there. All right, I'll be right back. All right, I wanna check on our little plastic inserts that are soaking. Let's see if the black paint comes off them. I don't think so. It's not even kind of coming off. Oh, that's really on there. I wonder if we can use, let's see what I have on my shelf. Hang on. I don't really have much on my shelf, but I got this stuff here. This is only for latex-based paint, though, which is probably not what's on there. And we'll just give it a shot. It's called Lift Off. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be doing anything. Is it? I think it might be taking some of it off. It's hard for me to tell. Is it eating the plastic? Oh, I have this right here. Cleans up dried. Well, we could try this, a little acetone. Again, it might eat up the plastic though. I wonder if I have another coin door I could steal these from. I mean, this is not the end of the world, but it's gonna bother me. Just broke my screwdriver. Oops. Try this. Oh, that does it instantly. Great. Is it eating the plastic? Kinda. Not really. Perfect. Definitely kind of fogs up the plastic though. I wonder if I could take like some 2000 grit sandpaper and some Novus or something and we'll polish it up. But it got the paint off. I think we can polish this up with Novus. Because this stuff's fogging the plastic up. Alright, that one's good. Let's do the other one. Where is it? God, it's such a mess out here. Where did I put the other one? Where is it? Oh, it's still in the cup. This is fun. This is so tedious. I mean, there's so many little teeny tiny details we got to worry about right now. We're home free though. I could see the finish line. Just want to get past this little tiny crap. All right. So acetone is where it's at. All right, let's do this quick. Alright, and then we'll do like one last wipe here. Dry. Did I get it all off? Yeah, it's pretty close. Alright, I think that looks fine. It's a little foggy, but I'll take some Novus to that later. Double check this one. Do the wipe and then the dry. What do you guys think? It's definitely better than it was, so we'll let that dry and I'll worry about it later when we go to put it back together. Okay, let's go back to the control panel. And then that primed metal part right now is in the house drying, and I'm letting that dry for a half hour. It's about 20 more minutes. So let's work on the control panel until then, and then we'll start painting. Okay, so let's come over here. Let's get the remaining pieces off of here. I feel like my garage is getting smaller. All right, let's get the garbage can. Get our gloves on, and let's strip away. This side's pretty much done. Stuff is awesome. I only have one glove on. All right, it's off. All right, let's clean this up. And we'll probably hit it with the sander real quick too, just to kind of get everything off. All right, that's that. Really nice wood they used on here, isn't it? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side, and we're gonna have to do the front too. And we have some kind of overspray on that stripper, so let's swipe that down. Get rid of that. Let's do the front right now. All right, we're gonna strip the front. All right, let's go ahead and spray that. It's dark, guys. It's getting late. Gotta really make sure I get the edges, because that seems to be the stubborn areas. All right, get the middle. All right, we'll let that sit for about a half hour or so. All right, I'll come back and we'll do some painting. Okay, so while the stripper's doing its thing, I'm gonna hit all the coin doors, both coin doors and both coin door frames with some of the hammered, okay? And I'm gonna do one coat of hammered, and then we're gonna do satin over that to make it really black, because I don't think this stuff's very black. But I think that using the hammered first is gonna really help our cause here and make everything look really uniform and smooth. And also, this is pretty much what the original finish is, but I just wanna smooth it out, and we'll smooth it out with the hammered. It's totally too cold to be doing this right now, but I don't have a choice. And I'm gonna let this stuff dry in the house overnight when we're done. And hopefully it's okay. I know that when I did the Pac-Man control panel, the paint didn't really adhere to it. And I had it flaking off later. But I don't have a choice. So I have to do this now. And this is just gonna really smooth this out. It already looks great. Boy, that looks good. It really does. And the lighting out here isn't really good, but it does look good from what I'm seeing here. All right, let's get the last frame. What I'm looking at here looks pretty darn good. Make sure we got all our edges. Yeah, I know, I'm painting the garage floor, I don't care. Believe me, after this winter, all the paint that's on the floor is gone from our cars driving in here. It just vanishes. Okay, all right, I'm gonna let that sit for about a half hour, and then we'll come back and do some black. We have our stuff soaking right now, the stripper, so we are absolutely multitasking here, but now I gotta wait. So let's come back in about 15 minutes or so, and then we'll do another coat on the coin doors, and then we'll do that other metal piece. And then I'll bring all that in the house, let it dry overnight in the nice warm house. So, all right. Okay, I wanna paint this stuff now. So that primered piece is totally dry to the touch. It looks actually perfect. Like, primer just always looks awesome when you put it on. So let's go ahead and hit it with this Rust-Oleum Satin Paint and Primer in one. All right, I'll come back and do another coat later. All right, and now I'm just gonna lightly hit all these with this stuff here. Boy, that looks pretty good. All right, let's kind of just hit this. Okay. And that just really blackens it up because the hammer finish is just not that black. And then when this stuff gets like dry to the touch, I'm gonna bring it in the house and let it dry overnight. It's all I can do today. It's freaking December 2nd. I got so lucky with the weather though. I mean, it could be negative 10 degrees right now. All right, let's go from the other side and hit the other angles. Okay, let's let that dry, and I'll come back and give it another coat. And coin doors are probably fine. It's just that metal piece that needs another coat. All right, let's see what happens with this. All right, let's put our gloves on. It's only been like, I don't know, 15 minutes or so, 20 minutes since I put that on. All right, safety gloves. All right, let's see what happens. Where's our scraper? Where's our safety glasses? Right here. All right, let's see what happens here. It's coming off. The artwork's gonna go on this like butter because this wood is so great. A couple stubborn spots here. So definitely spraying this stuff on the edges is really helping our cause because it's coming off nice. All right, let me throw this out. Gross. Couple stubborn spots. I might be able to take care of that with a sander. All right, let's get this out of here. Gloves off. And we'll wipe that down. Okay. Let's clean it up. Looks a little ugly right now, but we're gonna sand it all down and make it all super smooth. Oh, where's my paper towels?
Let's get all the excess stripper out of here. Oh, we're gonna have to spray paint all this too. Son of a gun. All right, let's go ahead and do the last part here. All right, where's our stripper? Same deal, just get it on the edges, because that's the stuff that's usually really stuck. Okay. Look at the middle. All right, well, that's pretty excessive. That's a ton of it. So, all right, let's let that sit for about 20 minutes or so and we'll come back. Okay, I just hit those plastic parts with some spray paint. I'm not crazy about painting the plastic parts, but someone already did, and it was too glossy. It didn't match the rest of the stuff, and it wasn't done very well. So I did just hit it with our satin black, so it'll match everything else. Most times, those parts right there, the little, insert coin bezels and the coin return things are usually metal. But this coin door, for whatever reason, they're plastic. And I also did give that bracket back there another coat of black and all this. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm pretty much done painting all these metal parts. So I'm going to let them dry to the touch, and then we'll bring them inside the house to dry overnight. But for now, let's see what's going on with this thing. Oh, boy. Oh man, that's not coming off. This has been on here for, I think, a half hour. Why is this being so stubborn? Darn it. It's totally not coming off. Oh, weird. I wonder because the temperature's dropping. All right, I'm going to spray it with a little more stripper. We're just going to let it sit longer. I wonder if I should shut the garage and put the heater on. I've gotten so used to the cold here today. Let's let that sit for half hour or so. And I'll come back. Alright guys, it's actually the next day here. I let that sit overnight and I got the heater running right now. It's like 70 degrees in here. This thing rocks. It flat out rocks. So let me just turn it off though. It's plenty warm. And I got the tumbler going. I let the tumbler go overnight and hopefully those parts are looking pretty good in there. So let's go ahead and strip this control panel. And then also all of the metal parts have dried overnight in the house. They look fantastic actually. I'm actually super happy about how this turned out with the rattle can. So like if you look on this side, this is the original finish. We did not paint this side. And if we turn it over, it looks almost identical with that hammer paint and then with the black over it. I don't know if you guys could tell, but that looks pretty sharp to me. So we'll put that together in a second. But right now I want to keep stripping this control panel. And let's see if this will come off. I mean, the stripper sat on it all night, so it better just fall right off. God, I don't know what it is about this side. This side's really stubborn. All right, here it comes. This side's behaving completely different than the other sides. Let me get my glasses on. I don't want to flick this in my eye. Put the safety glasses on, all right.
coming off, but for whatever reason, this side was really on there. There we go. Okay, one piece. And let's get this off here. Okay, it's all off. So let's just clean this up a little bit. Stuff kind of soaked into the wood. Okay, that looks really good. So I want to go through the whole thing now, and just kind of wipe it down, sand it, all that good stuff. I think I'll grab the garbage can and we'll get our sander ready, and we'll just kind of go through here and just touch it up, and then we're going to have to Bondo it. Let me get the garbage can, hang on. All right, I really just want to wipe this whole thing down, and then I think we're going to get our sander, but we've got the, it's all dusty in the inside. We really should spray paint this whole thing black. Gonna really wipe this down. Just want to get all of that stripper off of here because it kind of dripped everywhere. And by the way, I forgot to order T-molding for this video. I did order it like the other day, but it hasn't arrived yet, so we're not gonna be able to put the T-molding on the control panel, which kind of bums me out, but we'll have to do that in the basement, I guess, or in the next video, whatever that may be. Alright, so, boy, we got stripper all over this thing. Look at all that. Just kind of dripped on there, huh? So don't go crazy with that stuff. Okay, I'm gonna get my sander ready, and we're gonna just kind of clean that up a little bit. Alright, let's just kind of hit this thing. 120 grit. this thing. So this side's pretty good here. I don't know if it's glue or what that's coming off, but all right, that looks pretty great. Okay, so let's take a look at the other side. So this side here's got a big chip here on the corner that we should Bondo. And a chip right here. Pretty good shape, really, but we really should fill this in right here. Just a little chip in the plywood, and then let's look at the front here. So the front, get a stool here. This thing's kind of awkward to work on here. The front's pretty darn good. Got a little bit of a remnant of the decal over here. See if we can get our scraper, get that off right here. You guys can see this. Just a little decal piece. So I really think we need to paint this whole thing. So that looks good. I think it looks really good, actually. I think the wood quality is just awesome. These are really nice materials here. Okay, so let's get some Bondo. We're gonna have to blow this thing off here, but it's all dusty. Let's get some Bondo together, and really looking around, it's just this one side. And actually over here too, on the inside here. That's going to be a little tricky. This side looks good. God, it's like every time I sand it, something reappears here. Good. So we don't have to do anything to this side. We don't have to do anything to the front. It's just this one side right here. We got to fill that in. So why don't I go mix up some Bondo and I'll come back. All right, I'm mixing up some Bondo here. I'm just using this dowel to get it out. Put a little bit of hardener in here. It's a 2-part mix. All right, it's all All right, let's go over here. So just got to fill in these 2 little spots. Right here. Alright, we'll see how that goes. I'm going to have to come back and do it again. And then right over here. Ugh. I definitely don't want to get that in the T-molding groove. Alright, let's let that dry, and then we'll come back and see what we're dealing with. Let me clean up real quick, hang on. Alright, while the Bondo's drying, why don't we start putting together the coin doors? Again, I think these turned out really great. Let's do the lower one first. So, like so. And we just need little screws here. So on the hinge here, there's just 5 little screws. So I got the first one in there. So I'll go ahead and put the next 4 in. Be right back. Okay, I got them all in. Look at that. What do you think? Looks pretty good. Should we throw it on the game? We're gonna have to get the nuts out, but maybe we can just kind of put it in place for now. I think it'll stay here. Maybe not. Oh, it's gonna look good. I gotta get some locks. I don't know if I have locks. All right, so that one's ready. Let's do the top one. And then we're gonna have to go to the tumbler and see the situation of the nuts that hold that on. I'm a little worried that we're gonna have to paint those. I mean, they're in the tumbler overnight, so I'm not sure if they need more tumbling. They might. But let's go ahead and do this coin door now. So this one's a little more involved. We got to put all those parts back on. And there are a lot of parts. Okay, so let's tackle this. I guess we'll hinge it to the frame after we populate it. So let's do the population part of this first. All right, let's turn this over. So these here, we gotta think about this. So the lock's on the right side, okay? So this is the top, like so. And then this is the bottom. And then the bottom gets these little flapper guys. And these, one of these I just painted this morning because I forgot to paint it yesterday. So it's a little tacky. Goes like that. Okay. Okay. So just like so. Oh boy, this is going to be tough to do. I wonder if I should throw some tape on here to hold it in place while we assemble it from the other side. Boy, this is annoying. Okay. Alright, you guys stay there. So we gotta turn that over and have them stay in place. Let's try that. It's not going to work. It's a pain in the butt. All right, you stay there. You stay there. You get a slot. And you get a slot. Jesus Christ. Okay. Oh, come on. This is stupid. All right, I gotta flip this over without those falling out. Yay. We did it. Kind of. This one's not in its spot. There. Alright. Everything's where it needs to be. So now we gotta take all this garbage. Alright, so this goes here like so. This goes like that. And then these things, I need to put these back together. Boy, this is a pain in the butt. All right, so these are the things that we cleaned up with that mineral spirits, whatever, and I want to just kind of wax them. Just take something on here to kind of polish them up a little bit because they're a little hazy. Just taking a little bit of this Mills wax. Let's just see if this does anything. This stuff's kind of like Novus. It's a cleaner wax. See if we can get some of that haze out of here. Totally weird. Yep, looks way better. Alright, that looks good. Let's make sure we got it all off. Alright, now here's the tricky part. Putting this in so it's not upside down. So I think the coin slot goes to the left. Alright, there's one. And there's 2. Okay, so this is going to go in like this. 1 and 2. A spring on each one of those. Like so. Okay. Alright, let's take this big mess of... Boy, this is annoying. Alright, so this goes right on here. Like so. I can screw that down right now. Alright, top one's on. So the bottom one goes just like this. Alright, let's get 2 more screws. Alright, that side's in there. So let's go ahead and do this one real quick. We'll do the bottom first. This is so annoying. Alright, that's in. So now we just got to do the top right here. Alright. Here, screws. Oh, come on. How am I missing a screw? Seriously? How did I lose the screw? Oh, it's right here. Alright, so that's all together. Coin buttons right side up. This, I made a mistake here. I should have waited for this one to dry fully. getting all smudged. We'll see if we can polish it up later after it fully dries. But that looks pretty good. We gotta put the rest of the parts on though. So over here is, so this right here is the slam switch, and there's already one there. So let's remove the one that's there and replace it with the one that's in our harness. One. And then two. Okay. And then we got to put, so here's the harness, the coin door. And then this right here, boy, goes on here like so. So this is the test switches and all that. Reset high scores. I mean, Williams was a pinball, Bally, Midway, Williams, you know, all the same company at this point, at this time in history. So this is right out of a Williams like System 11 pinball machine. This part right here. This feels tight. That should go like that. And then the screws for this are which? I'm guessing these. I don't think that's the right screw. I think it's these. No, it can't be. Those are for the hinge. It has to be these. That's all that's left. I wonder if this is hard to get into this coin door because this coin door didn't have. Well, no, it would have had that because this is the coin door that was on the Mortal Kombat when we got it. All right, it's in there. Okay, so the only thing left. What is this? I don't know. This is power. This looks like power for the monitor. This ground wire is supposed to go on here. So I guess we could do that real quick. It was on this thing. And we're going to have to figure out where this is supposed to go. Probably on the power brick on the bottom, maybe. Okay, that's done. Alright, so now we gotta put the hinge on. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and just screw these 4 screws on here for the hinge and I'll come back. I won't bore you guys with this. Alright, we're done. Looks pretty darn good. Looks real good. So we'll let this dry and I'll see if I can clean this up a little bit because I kind of got some marks on here. This was a little tacky because I did that this morning. I stupidly forgot to paint that one last night. It's fine though. Alright, let's take a look at our Bondo over here. Should be fully dry. I'm just going to take my orbital sander here and see what happens. Alright, it just totally fell off. I don't know if it's too cold out here or what. I'm gonna have to mix some more up. Alright, we filled some of it in, but I'm gonna have to make some more. It's actually not that cold out here right now. What is the temperature? It's 60 degrees. Temperature's only dropped like 10 degrees since I turned the heater off. I did open the garage to bring that garbage can in. Whatever, we'll fill this in. I'm gonna use a little more hardener. I think I'm using too much though. Hang on, I know I'm doing this off camera. One sec. Coming. It's way too much harder. Alright, let's just come in here and try to fill this in again. We're going to let this sit for a good half hour at least. Okay. This corner here, I think it might be just too much is missing, and I probably should be gluing some wood in there or something. I mean, there's like about 1/8 of an inch or something I'm trying to fill with this. And I really probably should be looking around the garage for some wood I can glue in here instead. We'll see what happens this time. It's so trivial, this little spot, but this is our chance to make it as perfect as possible. I don't like it at all. All right, I'm gonna let that dry and we'll see what happens. That looks like it might be okay. This here, I'm not sold on. Stuff's starting to get hard. All right, let's let that just sit. I'm gonna clean my hands up, hang on. Okay, so while that's drying, let's see what's going on in our tumbler. So this thing went for not even 24 hours. So my expectations here are that this is not going to look that amazing. Oh, that looks pretty nice. Let's see. Actually, oh yeah, this stuff actually cleaned up pretty great. All right, take that back. This stuff looks good. So I left the nuts on. Boy, that stuff looks great. I'm not painting that at all. It's got that kind of gun metal look. So let's pull all these out. Now some of these though, like that one, looks like it was painted. Let me get a strainer and we'll just dump all that out. So a few of these, you could see that they were painted at one time, but like this one, no. Let's figure out what's for what, because we need eight of these for the coin door, right? 4 for each coin door. And if I have 8 that look like that, instead of that, which was painted. Oh, you know what this is? I think that when they painted that one coin door, they left the bolts on, and the original finish underneath should be like that. And it's there, but the paint's still on it. God, I'm kind of tempted to let this stuff go another day. I think I'm going to let this stuff tumble for one more day. At least. I'm trying to find all those carriage bolts. I want the nuts off of them because the media gets in between and I can't get them off. All right, whatever. I'm gonna button this back up. We're gonna let it go another day. Yeah, I know. That means we're not finishing this in this video. I can see it now because I have to paint the wood. There's just no way because the paint needs to dry overnight before we put the midway decals on. All right, I'm gonna let the Bondo dry for about 20 more minutes or so, and we'll come back. All right, it's dry. Let's hit this with the palm sander. So this edge right here is perfect. The other edge is close to perfect. I want to build it up just a little bit more. There's just a little kind of a ding right here. I could probably live with it, but I'm going to just raise this up just a little bit more. But this over here can come up just a little hair too, right in here. I think we should just make one more mixture of this, and I think we'll be much happier. So let me get a paper plate here. I'm gonna make some more and I'll come back here. All right, I'm gonna come in here and just build this up a little bit more. It's just a small little spot here, but we can make this kind of flush with the rest of it. I think I'll be happier. This is a little ding, really. Okay, so let's let that dry, and I'll come back and we'll sand it down. All right, it's all dry. Let's see what happens here.
right, I think we're done. It's close. If I could just round this edge here a little bit. Alright, so we're done with the Bondo. I feel pretty good about that. So looking around here, I guess we should kind of blow this off. And I guess we'll paint all the black on it, because we have to. Let's take a look here. But I gotta blow this thing off. It's just full of dust and stuff before we paint it. What do you guys think? How's it look, huh? So let's blow this thing off. And yes, I'm using my leaf blower. It's just so much easier than hooking up the compressor. Garage is shut too, so we're gonna be blowing this all over the place. Let's wipe it down now. Yes, don't run gasoline engines in a garage with the door shut. You will die. I did it for a second. Calm down. Wipe this thing down. So I guess I'm just gonna spray all the black, right? And if we get a little bit of overspray on the sides, I'm okay with that. We probably should frame the sides with a little bit of black, I guess. Okay, it's looking pretty good. So we've got this little wire tie holder thing. We should probably remove that. No use and no reason to paint that. All right, let's kind of take a look around before we start painting. Just want to make sure that it's really clean and there's no weirdness. So this side right here, I don't like it. I think I need to sand this a little bit more. The top of it isn't great. Okay, so I think we're about ready here to paint it. It's the problem with paper towels, you know, they just kind of get snagged up on the wood. So back here, I didn't Bondo this. I'm kind of okay with it because the control panel is going to cover that, and that we're going to just paint that black back there. But this is a little chewed up. But the control panel is going to go like this, right? So you won't even see it. And if we paint that all black and the T-molding's on there, so I didn't really feel the need to Bondo that. Okay, so let me get some, just want to really make sure we got all the dust off here. So I'm going to put down some cardboard, and I'm debating right now if I want to use the primer first. With the wood, I don't think it's as critical as it is with the metal. So I think we'll probably skip the primer. I don't know, what do you guys think? Let me open the garage. I'm gonna put some cardboard down. Okay, so I'm gonna rattle can this thing. Mostly concerned about kind of the insides here and the T-molding edge. I am gonna spray paint a little bit on the panels, the naked wood panels, the front and the sides where the decal is gonna go. But I'm really mostly concerned about getting this stuff. Okay, so we'll call that the first coat. All right, guys, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna stop right here, okay? So I'm gonna come back out here in a little bit. I'll put a second coat on, maybe a third, and we're gonna let this thing dry for a couple days. And then next video, we're gonna come out here, we're gonna put the decals on, we're gonna put the T-molding on, put it all back together. Also in the meantime, I'm gonna have my tumbler going for a couple days, tumbling the rest of the screws. So we can't really finish the game in this video because I need the paint to dry and I wanna tumble the screws longer. So we're going to stop right here, but I think we're in pretty good shape, and really a lot of the tedious, horrible stuff is all over. The painting, the coin door, all that stuff's over. The cabinet's pretty much done. Now we just got to basically put the decals on, put it all back together, and then that's it. Bring this down to the basement, and I hope next weekend, assuming we finish this thing like on a Saturday, maybe later that day, we bring this down with the Sente Mini Golf. That's kind of my plan right now. So anyway, why don't we go down to the basement? Let's hang out. Let's do some viewer mail. We're going to pick the winner of the Radical Skateboard. Yeah, we're going to do that. So, all right, guys, let's go back. And by the way, let's take a look here. How are we looking, huh? It looks good, right? I think it does. I know it doesn't look much different than when we started in this video, but the T-molding's on, and the coin doors are all done. The control panel's pretty much done as far as the wood goes, but we're in really good shape here, guys. So, all right, let's go back down to the basement. Woot. All right, guys, there you have it. That was part number 11 of the Mortal Kombat restoration. What'd you think? You know, I feel like we didn't do anything, but you know, I was out there all weekend. I was out there Saturday, I was out there Sunday. I busted my butt, actually, but we're not done. We're far from done. Well, we're close to done. You know, next video, without a doubt, that cabinet is going to be done. It has to be, okay? So next weekend, we're going to finish up the cabinet, and I'm going to bring it down here along with the Bally Senti cabinet, and I think initially I'll bring them down just to bring them down, and then I'm going to have to work to clean out that other side of the basement, but I can do that later in December. I'll have some time, and I also plan doing a ton of videos in December, like a ton of videos. I'm gonna have some free time. We've got a backlog of stuff, the UK trip, and even fun spots, so we're gonna be doing a lot of videos in December here, so buckle up, guys. Anyway, let's do some viewer mail, and also I'm gonna be announcing the winner of the Radical Skateboard contest here in a minute, okay? We'll do that after viewer mail. Are you excited? Did you enter? Is this gonna fall off now? I need to buy a new popcorn machine. The door on that thing is totally broken. All right, let's move on here. So, if you want to participate in the viewer mail, you got to email them to me at john@johnsarcade.com. That's john@johnsarcade.com. It could be a question, it could be a comment, it could be anything. Just send it to john@johnsarcade.com. First one's from Josh. It says, "Hi, John. Josh, your channel is my favorite of all time. Do you remember this game system I had, the Atari 400? Yeah, I do. I had an 800 XL. You know, the 400 was kind of the lower, I guess, or entry-level version of their home computer, because they had the 400, the 800, the 1200, and then like the ST or something, and I had the 800 XL, which was like the next generation. But yes, I do remember the 400. The 400 had like the little chiclet keys and stuff. I guess they had those little membrane keys on there so they could sell it to families and say, hey, if little Jimmy spills water on it, you know, don't worry, it's got a chiclet keyboard. So yes, I remember that. And this winter here, I'd like to do some more Atari 800 XL videos. I'd like to dig that out and do that again. We'll see if we have time. And then he says, I think this photo is the 2600. Yeah, I think it is. He sent me a photo here. I'll show you. So, yes, I would say that's a 2600. I grew up with that. That was my first, like, game console besides Pong, which I had before. Anyway, he says, thanks, John. Keep up the good work, Josh. Moving on. This is from Peter. Hi, John. Great work on the videos. I'd say more, but it seems that most people who compliment you too much end up sounding creepy. It's usually the ones that end with an email with your good friend or something like that. For shirt ideas, I think the tech repair idea, like the Nintendo shirt, is a good one. Otherwise, one that looks like a vintage paint sign, but a brown paint would work. Your good friend, Peter. So yes, Peter, we are doing another t-shirt campaign. If you go to johnsarcadeshirt.com, johnsarcadeshirt.com, we have the John's Arcade Tech Support t-shirt. Go there. There's coffee mugs. There's the OG shirt. Actually, as of right now, as I'm recording this video, I haven't set that up yet. I haven't even finished the shirt design, but I do know that by the time you're watching this, it's there. So go to johnsarcadeshirt.com right now. I'm going to let that contest, I'm going to let that campaign, that shirt campaign, run to about the week before Christmas, I think. So hopefully you guys will have time to get that by Christmas. I'm not sure. I'm obviously starting a little late this year, but this is our annual shirt campaign. You know, this is a way to support the channel and show some John's Arcade pride. I don't know. So if you like what I'm doing, go buy the shirt. Go to johnsarcadeshirt.com. It means a lot, and thanks, guys, in advance. This one's from Troy. I got a lot of messages about this. A lot of emails, a lot of tweets, a lot of everything. Facebook things, okay? Because apparently, well, I'll just read it. Hey, John, big fan, great shows. You need to check out the end of this TNT video. Todd really wants you to come visit, LOL. Troy. So yeah, Todd Tucky, TNT Amusements. I guess at the end of his current video, he told everyone to harass me, to have me go down there and do a video with him. So I don't know. Maybe, you know what? Maybe over the winter break. I don't know. I got some free time. I'll think about it. It's a long-ass drive. We'll see. Maybe I can get Adam to come down with me. Well, maybe we'll do it. I don't know. I don't want to go down there. It's too far. I'll be gone for like 2 days if I go there. But maybe. We'll do it. I know for a long time I've had people ask me to go down there. All right, the next one here is from Arturo. Hey, John, I like your videos. I was just wondering if you still like Fun Spot after going to Galloping Ghost in November. I've been going to Fun Spot as often as I can the past few years, and I was wondering if I should start going to Chicago, despite it being more out of the way for me compared to New Hampshire. Thanks. Also, are we ever gonna get your Philips Laserdisc player back? LOL. So, okay, I've had a couple people ask me this question, or similar question like this. You know, do I like Fun Spot still? Is Galloping Ghost better? Well, I'll say this. They're two totally different places in two totally different parts of the world, right? When I go to Fun Spot, you know, of course I go there to enjoy the place, the building, and the games, and all that stuff. But also, it's in a beautiful wooded area. It's a very pretty part of the world. You know, you've got lakes and beaches and water skiing and jet skis and little towns and restaurants and woods, and it's a nice, relaxing part of the world, okay? I like going up there just for that, right? Galloping Ghost is in the city. It's in a suburb of Chicago. It's in Brookfield. I don't know a lot about Brookfield. I didn't grow up in that part of Chicago, but it doesn't appear to me that you want to hang out there. You kind of want to go there and leave, right? So it's a little bit different. Obviously, you can go downtown or go to Wrigleyville and hang out and do that stuff. But so it's going to be two totally different vacations. So I personally think that you need to kind of look at what you want to do. You know, do you want to also do stuff around in the area? Then maybe that would make that would change your decision. Obviously, Chicago's a great city. So if you want a city vacation, go to Galloping Ghost. If you want a country vacation, go to Fun Spot. I'll say this though, Galloping Ghost definitely has way more 90s games. They've got a lot of rare games I've never seen before. I mean, I've been to a ton of arcades, guys, and I was blown away by how many rare games I saw in that place. It was unusual. It was kind of how I felt when I went to Fun Spot like 8-9 years ago for the first time. You know, now it's kind of old hat. I've been there so many times. They're not getting a lot of new stuff, but if you've never seen that stuff, it might still be exciting. I don't know. Am I answering your question? They're both good. So decide. Do you want a Chicago vacation or a New Hampshire vacation? And there's nothing wrong with either. So, all right, that's it for viewer mail. Again, if you want to participate, email them to me at john@johnsarcade.com. All right. One more thing. Before we do the skateboard giveaway, I want to show you guys this. I got this in the mail. And we're going to be doing a video about this, okay? I think you guys are going to like this, all right? Let me see if I can find the letter here. All right, so here it is. Let's read this. Okay, so I got this letter here in this package in the mail. John's Arcade, my man. Enjoying the videos as always. I've been meaning to make these decals for your table for a while. I just haven't got around to it. I would remind myself after each video that I would forget again. Anywho, keep it up as always. Every time I get that notification that you have uploaded a new video, I get stoked. Let me know if you ever come to Dallas, and I would gladly take you around to all the great arcades we have. It would be good times. I hope you enjoy the decals. Slap it over the table if you'd like. Also added scratch lamination that I use on CPO overlays for my arcade games. Adios, pal. Chaz's Arcade. Chaz Hawkins. So Chaz sent me something here that I happen to think is pretty super cool. And we are going to do a video on this. Okay? It's this right here. Okay? And what this is, let me open it up here. This is going to be fun, guys. He sent me a round decal, okay, to go on the wobbly table so we can cover up the stupid Patriots stuff. I am not a Patriots fan, just so we're clear about this. Even though I live in New England, this table was dirt cheap on eBay. I wanted like a bar, like a commercial grade bar table, and this was the one I found. It was Patriots. I'm like, well, I live in New England, fine, it works. But I really don't care about the Patriots. So we're gonna cover that up with this, okay? And we're gonna do a video on this. This is gonna be awesome on this table, don't you think? So Chaz, thank you so much. He sent me 2 of these actually. So I'll figure out what to do with the second one. But I'm actually kind of stoked to put this on the table. I think it's gonna be pretty badass. All right, let's get to our little radical skateboard contest. All right, so I made these skateboards, okay, and I made 3 of them. I gave one to Daniel, who helped me get the Radical in the base. He helped me pick up the Radical down in Georgia, and then shipped it to me up here, okay? I made one for myself, and I'm gonna give one away right now. I asked you guys to email me, and I said, you know, if you guys can tell me in the email why you should win, it's not gonna change the outcome of the contest, because I picked a random number and just went down the list, okay? So I randomly chose someone, but I asked you guys to kind of tell me why you want to win the skateboard and all that. And by the way, I copied this from the flyer, okay? So it's kind of a one-of-a-kind thing, even though I made 3. But this is the skateboard that the dude was skating on the Radical skateboard flyer. Anyway, I said, guys, send me an email, and then in the body of the email, if you want to tell me why you want to win this skateboard, we'll read it here in the show. It'd be kind of fun. And then I'll share some of those after this. Anyway, let's read the winning one here. And again, I randomly chose this, and it happened to be like one of the longest frickin' ones that was sent. So get ready. I'm gonna read this. It's gonna take a while here, but I'll skip some stuff. I don't know. John, this is the winner of the Radical skateboard. John, I'm 45 years old, and I'm a big fan of your channel, and I have been for about 4 years. I'm an even bigger fan of pinball, and used the information I learned from watching your channel to fix my friend's Theater of Magic earlier this year. However, I'm an even bigger fan of skateboarding since it was such a big part of my life throughout the 80s. I graduated high school in 90 and went into the Air Force in 91. Well, this sounds just like me, except I didn't go into the Air Force. All right, so, and by the way, this is Tony Cortest. He won the skateboard. I have a story to tell you and your fans about the time I got to meet my skateboarding hero and a legend in the sport, Natus Kopis. I have to tell you, I don't really know who this guy is, and I'm ashamed to say that. But I don't, right? He's a street skater from back in the day. And, you know, when I think of, like, street skating in the 80s, you know, was it Rodney Mullen and Gonzalez and stuff? I was more into the vert, you know, like Tony Hawk, obviously. While the guys from the Bones Brigade, which were the guys that I was into, were certainly more well-known because of their ramp skating in videos such as The Search for Animal Chin. I grew up in Orlando, Florida, which was completely flat, so I gravitated towards the skaters that were more street. The best of them all, in my opinion, was Natus Kopis. I visited Vegas 2 years ago with my buddy Matt from Atlanta. He and I were both skaters, and Matt produces his own decks under the brand Grim Skateboards. During our Vegas trip, we decided to take a short side trip to LA. Since both of us are skaters, I had found out that there's a skate park called Skate Lab in Simi Valley, which is the home to the Skateboarding Hall of Fame, which we both wanted to visit. I found out about the museum by watching Natus Skateboarding Hall of Fame induction video from the 2014 YouTube video. He was inducted along with Lance Mountain of the Bones Brigade that year. After seeing this, I got enthusiastic about skating again and started watching all of this, watching his old videos from the Santa Cruz skate videos, Wheels of Fire and Streets of Fire, where you can find on YouTube. I actually did go to check those out. I still don't know who he is. It's weird. Like, my friends and I guess we just weren't into him. A lot of this stuff, you know, I would discover from friends. You know, like my friend Clint, you know, he had all the Bones Brigade stuff. So I kind of knew about all of that through him and his older brother and stuff. Anyway, I then came across a 4-part biography all about Natus, and there's a great 32-minute video about the history of street skating, but over half the video is dedicated to Natus, blah, blah, blah. Our first night in California, we stayed at Simi Valley. We could visit the Skateboarding Hall of Fame. Some bad planning. The place was closed. On a whim, I looked up, however, the previous night, I was rewatching the videos I mentioned above, and in one of them, Natus's mother was being interviewed and it showed her name. On a whim, I looked up her name on the internet and it gave an address very close to the Venice Beach Pier. I looked up the address on Google Maps. There was nothing special about the house. I didn't expect to recognize it, but then I realized that in Street View, I recognized the house next door. It was the same house that I had seen a million times in the Wheels of Fire video. I had to check it out. I told Matt that when we go to Venice Beach, we had to drive up there just in case. It was still their house. The first thing we did when we got to Venice Beach was roll up to the address. I found out it said Kopis in the mailbox. It was surreal standing in front of the house. I felt like I knew immediately. After seeing it in the video 100 times, I opened a little picket fence gate, went to the door, rang the bell, immediately heard what sounded like large dogs. I'm kind of scared. A few seconds later, a Jesus-like figure appeared from the backyard. Standing in front of me was my skating idol, Nadas. I told him I found his house and asked if this happened to him a lot. He said no. His response made me feel a little stalkerish. Yeah, I can see that, but who cares? I found him after all these years. A guy who I idolized back almost 30 years ago, and now I finally get to meet him. He said he didn't mind me showing up, and he actually said it made him feel good that an old fan was that excited to meet him. You could see just how happy he was from the smile on his face and the picture we took together. It was great. My only regret is I just wish I had something of his to sign. When I got home, I was thinking about getting one of his old decks in good shape and hang on the wall. What I ended up buying was one of his limited edition from the Skateboarding Hall of Fame, the programs, the Thrasher magazine, appearance. I packed up everything very carefully with the photo I took with him and sent it all to him via UPS and asked him to sign everything and send it back to me. Don't worry. I was thoughtful. I already paid UPS for return label, so he wouldn't have to pay any of the postage. Man, it was expensive, $90 for a deck, blah, blah, blah. I wrote him a little letter explaining who I was again, but asked him to sign everything. But I also asked to send to him, I'm assuming you already have a copy of that first Thrasher magazine you appeared on, but just in case you don't, you're welcome to keep the copy I sent you. Well, guess what? He kept it. He sent back everything to me signed and sent me one of his business cards, which said on the back, thank you for the mag. Shortly afterward, I found another one on eBay and rebought the magazine. Still want to send it to him to get it signed. Anyway, that's my story about how I finally met Nadas. I hope you and your followers, at least those that are into skating, like the story, as it's 100% true. Thanks for taking the time to read this and keep up the great work on the channel. Sincerely, Tony in Wichita, Kansas. So the person that won, true skater, right? This is a real skate fan. I'm actually glad you won, man. But the thing is, I got so many entries from true skate fans. And actually, before we get into that, I'll show you pictures of Tony from back in the day with his Tony Hawk skate cut, and also a picture of him with Nadas. Here, check it out. So yeah, Tony, I like your Tony Hawk skate haircut there. so you were definitely a hardcore skater back in the day. So I'm glad you won. It's obviously going to a true skateboard fan. So thanks to everybody that entered. But before we go, I'll show you guys some more images and videos and stuff that I got, because I got a ton of entries for this contest. So here you go. Here's a little montage. So there you have it. So thanks to everyone that entered the contest. All right, guys, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Again, be sure to go to johnsarcadeshirt.com to order your John's Arcade t-shirt. You need one of these. It's a great way to support the channel. So johnsarcadeshirt.com. All right, guys, we're done. I'll see you very soon. Be sure to check out my podcast, Video Game Outsiders, at videogameoutsiders.com. We also have an app on the iOS and Google Play Store. The app is free. There's also bonus content on there if you want it. It's $1.99 a month for 12 extra episodes. So anyway, that's it, guys. I'm done. I'll see you very soon. Thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting, and all that stuff. Later, and bye.